Hey there, it's Avery Grace, and I'm back again with another video. And I kind of just wanted to share some of my thoughts. Maybe this might be an educational video, or maybe it's gonna be me rambling. That's always the roulette game we're playing. I say we because I'm starting to learn that I do have a community. I have a community of people that care about me and that I also inspire and motivate, and it makes me feel so good because that's honestly all I hope to accomplish in life. And, sharing my journey was something I decided to do because I knew that there's no way that I'm the only one that feels this way, especially when tackling new things. And, my videos are more towards spicy creators and navigating that world. But, sometimes the advice I share kind of provides it to those that just need to hear something specific. And so I'm learning that, my perspective might be useful for someone else because I'm kind of a slow learner. I think that I have some learning disabilities. I definitely have a speech impediment, and I'm learning a lot about myself as an adult because I never got to learn these things when I was little because I just came from a very poor background and my parents were not always there. Such a long story. But, I always choose to look on the bright side of things, and regardless of my situation or the things that I struggle with, I still try to work hard and show up and prove that just being consistent that you can achieve the things that you want in your life. Yeah, you're going to experience failures. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Fails. Like you fall, but it's a fail. You fail. Okay, moving on. I just had to get that out of my system. Um, yeah, and so, but you learn something each time, and you learn if that's really what you want. So, when I think about my story, let's talk about me. When I think about my story and the person that I was and the things that I was trying to accomplish in my life, I thought I was doing it for myself. And I really, really believed that this would what I envisioned for myself would be what it is. I worked for a company that I promoted up in multiple times, and it was to the extent that I wanted to work for this company for the rest of my life. I read the books, I read everything. I was pouring my heart and soul into this job because I loved it. I loved it, and I also loved that they loved me because I kept getting promoted. And but then there just came a time where I decided I needed something else because maybe what I was doing and why I loved that job so much and why I wanted to hold on to it forever until I could retire is that it provided comfort to me. It was security. I knew that I was so good at my job that there's no way they could get rid of me. But then I found myself questioning the culture and morality of how the whole situation made me feel. And, it wasn't really, I'm gonna be honest, I guess maybe it wasn't really until I found my partner and then I realized I'm giving up a lot of my time. I don't feel like I'm getting to live my life. I feel like I'm pouring all this energy into a job. And they probably really love that. Because who would not want someone that is 100% for you and will do anything and will work overtime and will not have a life? So I had to start thinking about what I really wanted in my life. And that was, slowly taking back control of my schedule and having a work-life balance. And, I ended up quitting that job and I worked there for so long that I was scared of what was out there in the world. I thought, oh God, like it's gonna be worse. There's no way it could be better. That's what I believed. And I put myself out there, and you know what? It was terrible. It was toxic. It was the worst time of my life. I ended up that year gaining over 100 pounds. It's ultimately why I'm still trying to lose weight today, is because I just found myself in such a dark place. And honestly, it was then that I was diagnosed with severe depression. I had been depressed before, but then now it was severe. And I didn't really notice all the signs at first, but later it came. And, I wanted to get out of that job. I was so ready to quit, and I didn't because I had the same, like, mindset that, like, I just need to work hard. I just need to get past, like, the hard part of it. Like, that's it. It never got easier. And so I ended up quitting, and then I found what I would consider my dream job, mostly because of the environment and the team and the people that I was surrounded by and the owners and the ideas and thought and systems and everything. I believed in it. I felt with the first job. I thought, okay, I'm gonna die here. This is it. This is where I never go anywhere ever again. And I believe that. I seriously believe that. I thought, I'm gonna be their ride or die. I'm gonna be their ride or die. I'm gonna be there until the end. I'm gonna make a name for myself in this company because they're small and we're gonna build up, and we are already doing so well. Just looking at the like history of this company, and I believed in them. I believed in them so much that I was like, I'm gonna be there. We're gonna do this together because I've always had that spirit. And then, and then because I was still dealing with my severe depression, I really neglected a lot of the feelings I had and why they developed in the first place and what they really meant. And, it wasn't really until later on, and I had been with this company for a couple years at this point, and they were even talking about like promoting me to a new position, like a position that they were gonna make. I think they had before and then got rid of, and then they wanted to bring back. And so I felt very honored because I was like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I love doing and what I love seeing. And I love the title and the raise. And I thought that I had everything made. And then something just started to just happen in my life where I wasn't happy. I was getting even more depressed. And it was a very strange feeling because I would constantly think about everything that I have in my life and that I had accomplished everything that I wanted, everything that I said I would. And it was like such an unreal feeling, like an out of body experience, because I mean, thinking about it now, I can't believe I went through it, and I also can't believe that I'm the person I am today and who I was. And that's like what I think is so cool and fascinating about life, is that we are constantly changing and that we are going to be somebody in this world. And who is that somebody? That's only a question you can answer. And so, but then I got pushed into therapy because the owners, they cared, and they cared about me and my well-being. And I went to therapy, but I made a smart choice in like researching the type of therapist that I wanted. And maybe it was because I finally had money in my life that I could do something like that I didn't have to settle for the bare minimum. And I got help, and I talk through all my problems. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I went in there knowing that we're going to have hard conversations. And even though that I came in there on the first day and I joked that he was going to convince me to quit my job, I think ultimately that was how I was feeling, how I had been feeling. Like I was slowly gaining back control of my life because maybe all those years I was just in survival mode and I had to do what I had to do to get out of it. But then when I accomplished everything that I had set my mind to, I was ready for something new. I had learned enough that I was ready. I was ready to take risk in my life, and maybe that was what I was searching for. And so I was in therapy for quite a while, I think about a year, and I got so emotional at the end of my therapy, like, journey, therapy journey. I don't know what else to call it. But I got so emotional that I didn't have anything sad to talk about. I felt like I fixed a lot of my problems by just talking about them. And then now I've learned so much by just recording myself and by sharing myself with the world that this is what I like. Maybe it's because I had lack of attention as a child. I don't know, but I love the attention and I love to know that I am making a positive impact in somebody's life. In somebody's life. Okay, I kind of get silly when I'm trying to be serious, and that's probably another underlining issue. But we're just being open. We're being open, and I'm sharing with you guys how I feel. This is another long video. I am so sorry. But I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep it going because I'm feeling so good. So, when I took the risk to quit my job after I realized what had to be done, and it didn't come easy. It wasn't like, oh, I was well and happy and decided I needed to quit my job. You know what it looked like? I was still in therapy. I didn't quit therapy until like way after like I had quit because I still needed it. Because this was a lot of new territory for me. Like this was new, like everything. I didn't know how to feel or how to express it. And so it was very comforting to be able to talk to someone with a different perspective that could tell me what I needed to hear and help me think for myself. So there's a lot to it, but I needed it. I quit my job when I couldn't wake up in the morning, when I didn't want to show up, when all of the like things that I once stood for didn't matter. Like I didn't care at this point what anyone thought of me. I just knew that I am so unhappy that I don't even want to be here. And that really that really shook me. It made me think about my own happiness and like what that looked like because and I know I just said that what it looked like to me because it took a lot of like thinking about what I have accomplished in my life and what has happened and if this was a decision I had to make. And when you start thinking about not wanting to be here and living your life in what felt like like it was just like a repeat every day of the same thing and that maybe I was just too used to it and that I was scared of getting comfortable because that means I get stuck in another place in life. I got out of my first situation and then lots of situations, but and I made it to a safe place and I was so scared to lose all of it. And it wasn't until I realized that like I am in a safe place. I can make that jump. I can take the risk because it started to become very clear to me that it's if I didn't want to be here, but I wanted to take this risk, what option do I choose? And it just felt so obvious. It felt obvious that I would want to be here and that I would want to see what I could do with my life. And that I didn't want to give up. And it made me sad because you see these really happy people that just one day they're not here and you're confused. And I felt like I identified with that. I felt like the what I had showcased the world was that I was always happy and then deep down I wasn't. That something felt wrong, something felt missing, something felt unfulfilled. And I couldn't let that be my story. I couldn't let it be my story. I didn't want it to not make sense. I wanted to make sense of the feelings I had, and so I took a risk, and most people wouldn't understand the type of risk I took or why I took it or but, that's not for them to know. We're fine. Like, I mean, I can tell you, I don't care, but it's not for them to live and experience and learn from. I'm the one making the mistake, if it's a mistake. But for me, it felt like an outlet, a stepping stone to eventually get somewhere that I am searching and looking for, and what really makes me fulfilled in life. And maybe it is because we are constantly growing as beings if you are working towards that. I mean, you can hang out in one area of your life for a very long time and be perfectly fine and never move and never grow. But then you're just stuck in that time period. You're stuck until you're willing to grow. You're stuck until you're willing to learn. And I've learned that I love learning and that I love experience and that I love feeling the emotions that come with it. And, one of my biggest things is like aging. Like, oh my God, I'm getting older. And it's so crazy because I feel like the same spirit because I am the same spirit inside of me. I feel like the same person, but I'm getting older and I'm getting wiser and like I am creating my history and what makes me me and I'm an experiment. I'm experimenting with myself. If this is a simulation, then I am in control of my character and I want to see what she is capable of doing. That's a fun way to think about it. And so I'm just experiencing life. And I'm doing what makes me happy in this moment. And I'm always, from this point forward, going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to make tough decisions, and that's part of life. But you know what? After every tough decision, it gets easier. We hope. But it puts us one step closer. Making one bad decision will not hold you back as far as making no decisions. Think about that. If you make a decision every day, and out of those 30 days, you made one bad decision, that's one day. Imagine if you didn't start. Imagine if you didn't start today. You wouldn't even have 29 victories, good days, new things you did, or you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have it. You would be from zero. So just, it's okay. It's okay that we make mistakes. I'm gonna wrap this up. This is what the video ended up being about. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this, please thumbs up. If you really liked it, I would like you to leave a comment and tell me what you liked the most about it. And then what I should talk about next. Because maybe that'll help me, like, talk about some useful stuff and not just myself. But yeah, that's it. And, please subscribe if you want to see my face more, if you want to hear my voice more, and turn that notification bell on if you want to be notified as soon as I post a video, because sometimes I post it once a day, once a week, once bi-weekly. So you want to be there when I put it out, right? You better. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.